Okay, so I just got done watching Izzy Bedoya's story on how she scaled her AI agency to $1.2 million in annual revenue without paid ads or without any sales calls. And I think this is so important to share with my school because this can, translate to many different industries and many different offers. And I think this is brilliant. So the old way, what she was doing is she had a viral LinkedIn post, in which got her like 200 back-to-back discovery calls in the span of like 3 weeks. Out of all of those 200 booked discovery calls, which we all hate today, it resulted in only 2 deals closed, which is crazy for 200 of them scheduled. She revenued $40,000, which some people might think is great, but that's working like 14-hour days. That's what she was doing. It was super high friction. People didn't trust her. She didn't have, built credibility before these calls. It was just off of one LinkedIn post. And so then what she did is she started a virtual boot camp. So she had 0 discovery calls, and it resulted in high ticket automated upselling, and she revenued $150,000 off of one boot camp. So obviously the boot camp, which I think that we'll get to later on, was like a 3-day boot camp with the offer being on the 3rd day. So the paradigm shift to $50,000 a month from Izzy Bedoya is, let's go over the traditional agency. So we have paid ads, we have cold outreach, and 2% reply rates. We have one-to-ones, basic 2,000 months retainers, which we know we're doing too much work for, and we're just another AI agency. And so when she automated everything and she started doing these virtual boot camps, she started building her personal brand on LinkedIn, which got her inbound LinkedIn brand equity, is what she calls it. And then she started to do one-to-many virtual boot camps, which resulted in high-ticket $3,000 to $10,000 closings for her. So she was basically selling a AI bot for around, she said average $8,000. Her positioning was buyer's enablement and a growth partner. Growth partner was something that she mentions, and maybe we'll get to later on, is like her last offer, which was like $10,000 to $20,000 framing. And it's like where she comes in and she becomes a part of your team and she's scaling with AI. 4-step leverage engine that she mentions is one, she uses LinkedIn as an engine. So like as a lead engine. So she's generating organic attention through highly structured value content. She captures them by pulling prospects off of social media using targeted trackable lead magnets like quizzes and things like that. And then she nurtures them. So she has a 7-touch map. So she's pre-selling the ideal clients and collecting deep qualification data, entirely automated. And then she converts them to the boot camp. By the way, I think the entry to the boot camp was $47. So she's not doing any more discovery calls. She's lowering the friction by giving a lot of value in educating all of these leads prior to selling them on the 3rd day. The inbound attention formulas. So I loved her 60-30-10 content split. So on LinkedIn, she shares 60% value, so that's deep dives, frameworks, and funnels, just giving pure value. And then it's 30% story and lessons, which is like her personal experiences and entrepreneurship and things like that. And then 10% proof, which is her testimonials and client wins. And then we have the 1-to-1-to-1 rule, play this to 1 million. So with every post, you want to focus on one problem, one solution, one ideal client, and one offer until you get to 1 million. And then she talks about adding more services and more offers after you reach that. Conversion tactic. So strong hooks in the first 2 lines of your LinkedIn post. Carousel deep dive. So what she does is she uses comment for, this guide, or comment for more information, CTAs, and then she links the, funnel that essentially gets their contact information and then puts them into like some sort of lead nurture. So capturing intent by selling the snippet. So she obviously never gives away the entire machine, right? She gives away like high leverage snippets that make the prospect ask, how do I do this? Can you do it for me? Everyone knows that when we are selling AI agents, it is a complex build most of the time. I love that she mentions that, if you are selling like AI receptionist, that can be kind of like, a grueling process just because sometimes their knowledge base might be like 30 different FAQs. Sometimes you want to, start with like the 3 most popular, most frequently asked questions instead of diving deep into that. But a lot of the time when you start, explaining exactly how these AI agents work, people trust you. They know that you know what you're talking about, and they're like, I absolutely don't want to do this. So some high converting assets is the script. So 5 emails that got me appointments, the diagnostic. So she has quizzes that provide like an ego boost, which is basically you figuring out things about yourself through her quizzes and answering questions. And then the calculator to show you how much money is lost to missed leads, which I actually have built a funnel on this using Lovable. It was super easy. You can build these quizzes for lead magnets on Lovable in like 5 minutes. Oh, I think I missed something really important. So the golden rule, use trackable links instead of static PDFs. This is really important for link tracking, especially if you're using Go High Level. You can determine how much time they're spending on the resource, and then you can retarget or, create more content around what people are most interested in or what they're clicking on the most of. And then step 3, the automated 7-touch nurture map, immediate resource delivery. So this is like what's happening in the background, right? So when they opt in. So we're immediately emailing them and giving them what we said that we were going to give them. We're creating rapport and a track record. We're then mentioning pain points, and then we are going into conversion and setup, which is where we want them to buy that virtual bootcamp. And then we're going into the hard testimonial proof. Usually this is on the funnel before they're getting into the bootcamp. And then the last call, final push. Using opt-in questionnaires to silence, collect budget, authority. What is your number 1 challenge right now? Action, mirror their exact language back to them in future marketing. The death of the discovery call. This is what made me want to share her story with you guys. The broken model, and I have so been here, and I'm so ready to start doing this bootcamp. So I just think that this is going to be so helpful to so many people. So you have 5 minutes of small talking, you have 30 minutes of cold qualification, 10 minutes of pitching, 10 minutes of hostile objection handling, and low trust battle of egos. So it's kind of like this power trip, like who has the most power? Like that is totally exhausting to then get like a conversion rate of like 2%. And then when you have the 3-day boot camp, which is you're getting paid to show up to this boot camp, it's not a lot, but it's probably, leveling out the cost of you actually being there for 3 days, right? So it's a paid entry level of $47. Education first, one-to-many scaling, and a high trust environment. The thing about people paying to be a part of this boot camp is that they're already qualifying themselves by, putting up $47 just to be here, right? So getting the first dollar out of a client, $47, makes the second dollar, which is, it might be $3,000, is 90% easier. It's so true. They've already spent money. Getting money out of clients who've already spent money is way easier than trying to get on a demo and like sell someone $3,000, right? So education does the heavy lifting, so you never have to convince anyone again. The anatomy of a high-ticket boot camp. Okay, so 1, we have the problem. So we're going to expose the hidden leaks, teach why leads slip through the cracks and why speed to lead matters and where human staff drop the ball. So something that she mentioned is like if you're running ads, right? And you are, you have your list of leads that are coming in from your ad, and then you're waiting 24 hours to call them back the next business day. That's not working anymore. That's where an AI can go ahead and call them, get them booked, or do whatever they need to do, sell them that virtual boot camp, and get them already in and going. Day 2, so the system. Reveal the mechanics, show the exact AI response maps, automated workflows, and CRM setups that fix the leaks. This is what's going to be like, wow, she really knows what she's talking about. This is really complex, and I don't want to do this. And you spend an hour on each of these days. So day 1 is an hour, day 2 is an hour, day 3 is an hour. And then you have the pitch. So the pitch is where you're going to lay out the complexity, which they probably already know, and then building it manually. And then she's going to pitch the done for you, where she's like, hey, I will do all this for you for around like $8,000, right? Buyer's enablement and the digital deal room. So stop forcing sellers enablement and switch to buyer's enablement. Give them everything they need to buy right now. So we're going to have hard case studies and ROI breakdowns. This is on day 3, right? Clear problem solution, alignment, and core value proposition. An interactive live AI agent demo they can test instantly. That is going to be key. Give them a number to call. Let them go ahead and test out the AI agent that they're going to be buying from you to make sure it actually is working. A ninja trained AI chatbot acting as a digital closer to handle logistical questions in the bottom right of the screen. This is actually brilliant. This is where they're looking at the screen. They're like, this is just a no-brainer. Callback. If they demand a human call, strictly limit it to 15 minutes for final logistical alignment and 0 objection handling. You don't want to be on the call more than 15 minutes. You just spent 3 days with them. There's no reason for that. Execution blueprint, the AI booking offer. So the real diagnosis. Most businesses don't have a lead generation problem. They have a follow-up problem hiding inside of their CRM. You need more leads, you need more traffic, you need SEO. You have a follow-up problem. Applying the 1-to-1-to-1 rule. One problem is expensive leads are lost entirely due to slow manual follow-up, right? One solution, AI employees that instantly respond and qualify and book without sleeping. One ideal client. So what she's saying is you don't want to present this to anyone who wants an AI agent. You need to present this to one industry, plumbers, HVAC, like whatever your ideal client is. You want a bunch of your ideal clients in this boot camp. You don't want random people everywhere, right? They're going to have so many different questions. It's going to be a total nightmare. One offer, done for you AI booking system. So this is like, what are we doing to actually get these clients to show up to this virtual boot camp? We're applying the 1-to-1-to-1 rule, right? Next. Okay, the 5-minute lead leak. This is actually something great you can use as like maybe your own kind of lead magnet or pitch for your virtual bootcamp. The human system is broken. So someone fills out a form, they're waiting 30 minutes for someone to call them. They're not answering, so they're leaving a voicemail, and then they're moving on because they have a bunch of leads coming in. So they're just calling and seeing which person is going to pick up and which person they're going to convert. They're not following up with them. If a business waits 30 minutes, the lead is strategically gone. That's totally true. The AI system is sealed. So when someone fills out a form, they get an instant SMS within 30 seconds. They get AI qualification question and an automated booking calendar, appointment reminders, and no-show recovery. Genius, right? If you're one of my clients, you should have this. This is what we include with M-Suite because we know how important it is. Okay, so the minimum viable agent. So we have one, speed to lead. Instant callbacks and text backs, trigger the moment an ad opt-in occurs, capture them while they're still holding their phone. That's going to go into pillar 2. The focus AI receptionist. Do not automate the 30, this is what I was just talking about. Do not automate the entire 30 item company knowledge base. Program the agent to handle only the top 3 to 5 most frequently asked questions to ensure flawless routing. Pillar number 3, the after hours catch. Activate AI agents on nights, weekends, and holidays so service businesses never lose an emergency inbound request to a competitor. This is amazing. Why? Because people get so scared when you're like, hey, let's replace your entire front desk receptionist. They're like, no, I like my front desk receptionist. Great. Well, your front desk receptionist is not going to work 24 hours, right? But they do work 9 to 5. So from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., your AI receptionist can answer all of those calls, and people are going to be a lot more appreciative that someone is answering the phone, right? Versus they have to wait until 9 a.m. the next day to talk to anyone or get an appointment or anything. Those AI agents can secure the lead, they can book the call, and they can be on your calendar for the very next day. The backend value ladder. scaling to $50,000 a month. So step one, bootcamp is $47. We're going to upsell them on a script pack for $199. Core offer is going to be a done for you AI agent, selling around $3,000 to $10,000. I would say like $8,000 average. The reoccurring engine, this is what's so important, and the majority, if anybody thinks they don't need this, they will soon figure out that they absolutely do need this, especially when they're like, oh, I want my AI agent's voice to, be Bob, or now I want it to be Susan, or I want to test things, or I want to change the FAQ, or I want them to do this now. They're going to get into a maintenance plan, right? And that's going to be anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a month. And then we have step 4. Premium access. So mastermind retreats, high ticket experiential coaching. I don't know about this one. Great that she does it. Do I want to spend 3 days with people asking me tons of questions? Maybe. Because what she's doing is she's prepping those people to go to the growth partnership. And that's where she's only capped at 10 clients for the entire year, because these are like year contracts. And she is going to go into their company as an extension of their team for about $10,000 to $20,000 plus a direct revenue share. I would say that a lot of people can stop at step 3. If you want to go crazy, go to step 4. You know what I mean? But obviously, step 4 is just going to be for the people who are on the maintenance plans, right? Like, you're not offering the premium access, the mastermind retreats, or the growth partnership plans for anyone who has not went through step 1, 2, and 3. Okay, what are we going to do in the first 30 days to launch this, right? Week 1, problem awareness. We're going to post content focused entirely on misleads and slow response times. CTA comment. Remember, comment. Don't give PDFs. Comment the blueprint for the map. Then we're going to go into week 2. We're going to show the system. We're going to break down the exact AI response maps and workflows. CTA, again, is going to be comment flow for the checklist, right? We're always saying comment. We really want to be posting on LinkedIn. Don't judge me. Don't look me up, because I don't do this. I just figured all this out, okay? I'm here with you, but I think this is important and I understand it, and you should understand it too, right? So always comment flow for the checklist. Week 3, promote the boot camp. So after we've already posted week 1 and week 2, and we already have people commenting, and we're already, getting higher in the algorithm, we're getting more visibility because we're constantly posting for week 1 and week 2. Now we're going to promote the boot camp, and we're going to teach exactly why demo calls fail, push the live virtual event. So comment live for the link. Okay guys, that is a wrap. If you thought this was helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, join my school group for more content like this, and I will see you next time.